4,818 miles away, a 9-hour 45-minute plane ride, and being 37,000 feet in the air, traveling from the bustling city of New York City to a third world country with a language barrier and getting stared at in the supermarket waiting to pay for water definitely extended beyond my comfort zone. Leaving the frigid winter of Waterville, Maine to the Atlantic Rainforest to meet new people, learn about environmental issues, and immersing in another culture was something I couldn't give up. Traveling below the equator was a first, but at least I had a Colby friend along the way. The bus in Rio to Muriel, then to Rosario de Limiro, was far from smooth, both figuratively and literally. The ride was bumpy and we missed the connecting bus by 5 minutes. Google Translate soon became our friend as natives smiled with curiosity and then with content when we mentioned we were volunteering with Iracambi. After being on the bus for 6 hours and a lot of angst built up, we arrived on site at 6 p.m. Having just settled in, our volunteer coordinator Rogerio gave us multiple projects to begin working on. One of those projects was cleaning up the area behind the lab for the medicinal garden. Cutting down a tree of any size isn't my intent, but it was needed to create a border for the medicinal garden. Other projects included moving sand into the nursery and pulling weed from the 300 seedlings on each table. There are 5 tables. Iracambi has around 9,000 seedlings in total. An ongoing project Iracambi is working on is Reforestation. With only 7% of the original Atlantic rainforest left, much which is fragmented, Iracambi works with farmers to replant the seedlings in hopes to create forest corridors for wildlife to move between and allow water to stay in the mountains instead of running off. On this particular day, we planted around 150 seedlings. Currently, an invasive African grass creates dense root systems that doesn't absorb water, meaning that water rolls off the leaves carrying topsoil into the waterway, ultimately making the river bottom rise. Nature's beauty is a gift that cultivates appreciation and gratitude, and by hiking through these waterfalls and trails, I've definitely appreciated nature at a deeper level.
Matt, where are you going?
I have no idea. This deeper level of understanding isn't something that can be achieved by just going to class. Being in the rainforest also had its drawbacks. For example, even when the sun was out. Because of the temperature, humidity, and amount of rainfall, fruit grow in abundance in the Atlantic rainforest. Furthermore, Minas Gerais, where Iracambi is located, is said to produce more coffee than the continent of Africa. It is also to no surprise that the most expensive coffee ever sold in the world came from the state. Overlooked in the beginning, I soon realized that the caterpillar and the ants keep this ecosystem running. I don't think I'll ever be fond of insects, but at least I didn't kill this one. Or this one. Being in a rainforest has always been on my bucket list, and my first time below the equator was filled with skepticism. This faded quickly as people from all over the world welcomed with smiling faces and a shared similar interest. Even the animals seemed to be content with their lives. Having spent 2 weeks here definitely wasn't enough, and it has piqued my interest in learning more about the problems related to the Minas Gerais Atlantic Rainforest and the conservation and reforestation Iracambi has been providing for the past 30 years. Coming into the rainforest with limited field experience, I hope to come back in the near future to look at the impact I have created. I've had rice and beans for the past 2 weeks, but at least I haven't gotten old of it yet. And now back to the frigid cold winters at Colby College.